Well, let's start with what I really want to talk about first.
Yeah.
Is the whole Azealia Banks thing.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing happened. She was on your show. And then you had the Instagram post.
Yeah.
Where she said, if I make a joke, said that Nick Cannon be dead by the end of the year, then I'd be the bad guy. And you have lupus.
Yeah.
So she's basically making fun of your illness.
I mean, which that don't bother me. I mean, they make fun of my condition all the time on Wild 'N Out. I think, honestly, man, like, and you can see it in the episode. Like, I was just trying to look out for the young lady, and I think somebody put a battery in her back once she left, because even though drama ensued on set, she still left pretty happy, but then the next day she was just wilding. And I think it's really some stuff within that is real deep, that she's kind of, she doesn't really understand herself, and she's hurt. It's a lot of hurt, and like they say, that type of stuff comes out. Hurt people, and she was just looking. She felt really embarrassed and hurt on the show, and she wanted to kind of save face, and that's what she does. She kind of goes online, and that's where she gets her attention mostly. That's where she expresses herself the best. We were kind of thinking on the show, like, oh, she's always talking shit. Like, this is like, even the game that we were playing is usually called So Fly. We changed it for her and called it So Petty, because and like we do that with a couple people that we did that with, like Tammy and her Bonnet Chronicles. Like, it was like, oh, she's known for talking shit, so we gonna talk shit in this game. And we specifically explained it to her beforehand what it was gonna be, and she just wasn't built for it. Like, she tried, she threw some shots, but it just wasn't hitting. And then we saw the audience turn against her, that she wasn't ready for that, and that's really where it came from. And all of the things that she was saying the next day was just showed like how hurt and how miserable she actually really is, and uncomfortable in her own skin, and the whole colorism stuff, like where she just pulled it out of nowhere. But you could tell those are issues she probably really deals with. She probably has been, the dark-skinned girl who who didn't feel as attractive as she wanted to be, and all. You could just tell it's a lot of self-hate, man. So I feel bad for her.
Well, she lightened her skin at one point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and she was talking about like how dudes respect the brown paper bag, like the brown paper bag test in terms of skin tone.
And so it's sad. I mean, even I remember, because when you see the episode, and she tears up and cries and kind of and I kind of wrap everything up to kind of save face. And but when she went backstage, man, she like lost it hysterically, and massive tears and screaming and yelling. I'm like really trying to reason with her, like, yo, we don't want this to be your experience. You know what I mean? We're all about fun and inclusion, and everybody's just having a good time here. But it just went to a whole nother place where people were like, yo, probably just give her a minute. And what, like I said, we got to a wonderful place where I was like, yo, I need you to show your strength. I need to show how strong you are as a black woman, and go back out on that stage, and I'm going to make everybody clap for you, and show that you're not going to let, some jokes or some words affect you at this level. And, we got to that place, but then, she kind of reverted back to her old tricks the next day. So I was never mad. I actually thought, I was like, yo, this is great publicity. Like, keep it pushing. And the episode's on. And that was the thing. I actually told her too. I was like, yo, if there's anything you don't want me to air, just let me know. You know what I mean? I'll scrap that whole segment. And that made her feel better. But then the next day when she started lying, I was like, well, that's out the window. You know what I mean? Because now you just made me and my team look like we was out to get you, and, saying the most ridiculous. The crazy thing about that whole thing to me is the people that believed her. That bugged me out. And it was like on some like Trump follower shit. Like, people, I was like, man, I guess sheeple are real. You know what I mean? Like, if you just someone you're a fan of, you take what they say as gospel. I'm like,
everybody has their following.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If I go on my Instagram and said Nick Cannon is gay, a bunch of people like, I already knew it. I always knew it. Like, yeah, thanks for confirming it. Even though everyone has their following.
Confirmation to their gossip. That's true.
It seems like DC Young Fly was sort of the main
it was definitely
antagonizer in the situation.
Yeah. But he wasn't even, he didn't go hard like as DC can.
Right.
He made a Cardi B joke, you know what I mean? And he said, with your ugly ass, you know what I mean? And in her mind, that was, you know, he called a dark-skinned girl ugly. She said some choice things, man, that she was using it was the F word, and you know how trashy Atlanta and disease-infested Atlanta. And I was like,
She responded to DC Young Fly, and she said, no N-word with the hard R.
Yeah.
The reason I cried is because I wanted to call all of you dirty Atlanta DL HPV-invested F-words stuck below the Mason-Dixon line with no access to health care.
Yeah.
I was going to call you all specifically the type of men black women hate, specifically the type of black men society hates, which is why DC is forced to breed with bulbous fat white women who have low self-esteem, collect government aid, and are just happy to have a man around. I'm 100% sure that DC has a cluster of warts that looks like a vine of grapes growing out of his ass. But
she took some time to write that out.
That would have looked good on MTV.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, she started blaming everybody. And like she threatened to spit on DC, and he came to like apologize, like, y'all was just playing around, I don't even know what I said. She threatened to spit on him in the face, and that's when I had to take her and be like, yo, let's go backstage and talk about this. Like, you know, she's in tears, and she's saying faggot and all of this stuff. And I'm like, yo, you can't, like, you're going to hurt yourself by acting out against one person. Now you attacking all of Atlanta. She started attacking the audience. Like, these light-skinned girls are laughing at me. And I'm like, yo, they're so, like, I give you the number to my therapist. Like, you gotta talk to somebody.